Morning, everybody. I'm going to jump straight into it. God gave me something really cool today, and so I want to kind of share that with you guys, as usual. I want you to imagine a world where you can trust people. I want you to imagine a world and a life where you don't have to worry and you don't have to have hurt and pain. Imagine a life where those concerns are not what overwhelm you, whether you can trust someone or whether you're safe or whether your life is this or that. It sounds kind of strange to talk about, but I want you to think about that for a second. If you were able to strip away all of the worries of life, of what your boss thinks of you or what your wife thinks of you or what's going on in your life, and can you strip those things away? And I want you to think about what Jesus tells us about our lives. You can actually be rid of those kinds of worries and concerns, and I know it sounds crazy, but you can stop being offended and hurt, and you can stop believing the world is such a terrible place, and you can start focusing on what God's really created us to be. In John 15:13, we read that no one has a greater love nor stronger commitment than to lay down his life for his friends. We are not to live for self at all. We're not to be concerned for self. We're not to be worried for self. We're not to be focused on self. So much so that we should love people beyond their ability to hurt us. We should love people beyond their ability to offend us. Now, this isn't easy. I'm not saying that this is a simple thing, but what I am saying is there is a life out there without the stress and the frustration and the pain and the hurt. There is a life out there without all of that. And it takes us learning to be selfless enough that we're willing to give our lives for the people we love. The question is, do we love with God's love or do we love with our love? God's love says that we would love people to the extent that we would be willing to give our lives. And He demonstrated that. He lived that out in allowing His Son to give His life for us. This is not a small thing. When you accept the life of a Christian and you say that Jesus is Lord of your life, then Jesus makes the decisions on how you love, and that love is without limitation, even if that person hurts you. Even if that person tries to get in and say terrible things about you or to ruin you, you're supposed to love them. Your love is supposed to go beyond what they can do to hurt you. That sounds crazy. But on the flip side of that, that's what we believe in as Christians. That's the whole idea, is that this place doesn't matter as much as we make it out to be. 1 John 4:8 reads, "The one who does not love has not become acquainted with God, does not and never did know Him. For God is love. He is the originator of love." It's His love that we're supposed to have for people, not our love. Not a limited love, but an agape love. We are supposed to love each other to the extent that it's from Him and not from us. The love that we have for people should flow from us, from Him, through us, to them, to the world. Now imagine a world where everyone lived like that. Imagine a world where everyone cared for each other more than they cared for themselves. Imagine a world where we actually loved each other to the extent that we'd be willing to lay down our lives for each other. Imagine that world, because that's the world that God created. That's the world that we were supposed to live in. And that's the world we're supposed to be building. That's what conquers. That's what conquers, is the love that goes beyond any understanding. The love that makes no sense to the average man. It makes no sense to worldly wisdom. Can you love like that? Can I love like that? Can I love my wife when she's frustrated with me and gets upset with me for no reason and goes off the handle? Or do I love her only as much as I can take in that situation? Do I love my child who frustrates me and doesn't do those things that I've asked them to do and doesn't live in the way that I taught them? Do I love them beyond my expectation for them? Do I love my wife beyond myself? Do I love the person I don't know at Walmart beyond myself? Do I care about the person at work that gets on my nerves more than how much I know more than them? Do I care about the person that seems to always have some kind of offense and causes drama in my life? Do I love them beyond their ability to create drama? And here's the thing, do I love them so much that they can't create drama? Do I love them so much that they can't hurt me? Do I love them so much that it is impossible for them to reach in and tear my heart out? I've got to learn to live that way. We've got to learn to live that way, because that's who we follow. That's what Jesus tells us to do. We're supposed to be loving to the point of not being affected by this world anymore. That's a tough one. And it's one that I'm going to have to learn to get deeper in. That's what God gave me today, guys. Love you. God bless.